Kazili. The word poured from his lips like run over from his goblet. You look well. Chained for 3 days and nights, hauled alongside a horse like little more than cattle, she knew she stank of exhaustion and exertion, and, to her furious shame, the bitter odor of how she'd had to relieve herself while walking, given no space or privacy to do so. The cold had helped mask the smell, but in here, in the heat, it crawled up her nose, along with the cloying, familiar smell of blood and drink. Fresh slices along Tosin's bare flesh, where it was visible past the layers of his robes, meant he likely had recently finished letting to honor the goddess. It has been so long since I saw you. 3 seasons, if memory serves. His eyes trailed over her faintly, trembling frame, and it was all she could do not to lose what little bit was in her stomach. I am the mountain. It was during the high solstice, he continued, smiling wide beneath the line of shaggy black hair on his lip, the day of the festival. The day you murdered my family, Akani spat between clenched teeth. To either side of her, the boy guard and the soldier both swiveled to look at Tosin. The bastard continued to smile, though it hardened. That is a serious accusation, my dear, especially coming from a Hessian. At that word, the boy guard and the soldier looked back to Akani, the soldier with disdain on his brown face and the boy with fear. Leave us. Tosin waved a hand. Sir? The soldier frowned. She is shackled and unarmed girl. She is a shackled and unarmed girl. She poses no threat. Not to the future Kazi of Oramek. Tosin lifted himself from his nest of damp-looking pillows. His body was thin, though it lacked muscle. He was not a young man, and the drink had clearly taken its toll. Leave us. The soldier bowed and, reluctant, turned to depart. The boy guard fidgeted a moment before dropping the chain to the ground with a thunk and hurrying after his superior. Tosin watched them go before turning back to Akani with another one of those blasted smiles. My dear, even a Hessian should be wary of speaking such lies. He stepped toward her. Akani stiffened, but thankfully he moved away and over to the opposite side of the tent. There, a basin of water was waiting. He undid the sash at his waist and let the fabric fall from his body. Akani averted her eyes until she heard the splashing of him settling in. What has led you to believe that I, one of the goddess's chosen, would kill the ruler of her people? Tosin flicked a bit of water over the side. Akani knew she should hold her tongue, but the pain of the last few days was hot and fresh, and it fanned the flames of anguish from her time in exile. The combination made her temper short and her tongue loose. I saw you, she bit out, with the man in the cloak. She remembered that night clearer than any other, save the night her Amma went to be with the goddess. It was late, and she had just returned home after a trip with her father and twin brother Seth. They'd gone to a neighboring kingdom for a period of weeks to witness the marriage of one of their cousins. Amid the cushions spread around her, Akani rocked with the jostle of the palanquin as it bore them on. The smell of old pine and citrus polish swirled heavy in the air. Beads rattled and clacked against one another, hung with silk to shield the windows and door from the sun, which had thankfully gone down some time ago. The rhythmic clatter punctuated the relative silence, along with the beating of feet and betraying the beasts outside. Rouse yourself, my children. Her father's voice was heavy in the shadows that filled the space between them. We are home. The palanquin was large enough to hold the entire royal family, though Akani always took to curling against Seth like he was a large, warm pillow. She stretched her tired limbs and sat up. Her brother did not move, though his eyes went from her to their Baba. Have you given any thought to our earlier conversation? Seth said. His voice did not hold the deepness of Baba's, still a boy's tones. He hated when Akani teased him about it.